Hey, it's me again. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about two different topics that I really want to talk about. My first topic is one that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time now, and second topic is something that's come up very recently, and I wish to talk about it right now. Get it out of the way. So, yeah. November 30th, 2021 was a very hectic day for me, to say the least. I watched the La House movie, the animated one. I was disappointed in how generic it was, and because of this, I had to scrap a video that I was working on for it. I decided to be generous though, so I decided to make a video explaining why I scrapped it, as well as upload what I've made of the video onto YouTube for preservation purposes. And also, I decided to upload a little thing that I made originally as like a throwaway thing, maybe like start, I don't know. I repurposed it into a trailer for a video on a Loud House Christmas, because, you know, it's a live-action Loud House movie. It's beautiful. A beautiful train wreck that was made just for me. And yeah, that review is scrapped as well. I'm not making a video on a Loud House Christmas. That's not happening. I haven't even watched the video either. I haven't watched the movie either. I don't know why I said video. Unlike the animated one, I have not watched the movie, and I probably never will. I have my reasons though. So the movie aired on Nickelodeon, and in addition to airing on Nickelodeon, it's also available to watch on Paramount Plus. I don't have Paramount Plus. As a matter of fact, I don't really use streaming services all that much. I've always preferred physical media. I've always preferred watching movies physically on like DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. And, you know, looking at like recent stuff, like what's happening with HBO Max and how they're just straight up removing some of their shows, all it does is just makes me more grateful to just stick with DVDs and whatnot, because it's just more like an extra satisfaction in just holding a movie in your hands and just looking at it. It's like, yeah, I own this. This is a movie that is inside of my house. I don't have Paramount Plus, and I don't know how much it costs. I really doubt that it's cheap. I don't want to waste, like, I don't know, $40 or whatever just so I could watch a La House Christmas. Like, come on. That's not something I want to do. I'm not going to be stupid and waste money just so I could watch a La House Christmas. And also, I really doubt that this is going to get like a home media release. I really doubt this will be released on like DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. So if by some chance it does get like a DVD release, I would probably buy it. It's not so like I could review it or whatever, because buying it won't make the chances of me reviewing it more likely. It's just to it's just the novelty, so that way I can, you know, cure that curiosity that I have and like watch it, and it's like hopefully it's like a funny bad movie, or it's like just the like novelty of it, just the general novelty of it is what I'm hoping for out of it. But I kind of doubt that. I really doubt that this is going to get a home media release. I mean, I presume that because this is a Christmas movie, what happens is that this is probably going to be like released like a year later. So like if the movie came out like in the holiday season of 2021, that means it'll be released like on home media during the holiday season of 2022. That's the only possible way. I doubt it. I would have thought if it got a home media release, it would be like very early January of this year, no later than like mid-February. But I really doubt that. And you know, I wouldn't even be ashamed to admit, maybe I'm a little bit, but I would buy this on DVD. I would just buy it for the novelty. I don't care. I already own a large amount of like cinematic masterpieces. I own a large collection of movies that would make all of the greats in cinema shed a tear. You know, Orson Welles, Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Quentin Tarantino. You know, just all of the greats in cinema just shed a tear because I own so many cinematic masterpieces, and A Loud House Christmas would just fit right into all of them. So Paramount Plus is out of the question, and the chances of this movie getting a home media release are extremely low, which means that there's only one way for me to watch this movie. I have to sail the 7 seas in search for buried treasure, if you know what I mean, yar har fiddle dee dee. There's a good chance it's not worth it. My biggest problem with the animated movie was that it's just really generic and unmemorable. There is nothing noteworthy in it. Nothing noteworthy about it. I'll admit, I got my hopes up a little too high watching it. I really went into it thinking it'll be like a Last Airbender level train wreck, and what I get instead is an extremely forgettable movie that there's no point in hating it. I really went into it thinking it would be like a straight 0 out of 10 movie, and what I got instead was more like a 3 out of 10 movie. Maybe a 4 out of 10 if I want to be generous. So, like, it makes me think, like, what if the Christmas movie is the same thing? What if it's just, you know, looking past the fact that, you know, oh, it's live action Loud House. Looking past that, it's probably just generic. It's probably just a generic Christmas movie. There will be nothing interesting. There's, you know, I'm not gonna get my hopes up again and assume it'll be like on par with other, you know, notoriously bad Christmas movies like, I don't know, Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas or the Star Wars Holiday Special or whatever. Because for all I know, this movie's not gonna be like those. This movie's gonna have nothing notable about it. It's just gonna be a generic Christmas movie. There's two things that I'm hoping for this movie. I'm hoping it's either going to be like a funny bad movie where it's like, yeah, it's garbage, but at least I could have like some form of enjoyment watching it. Like maybe it's like an ironic thing, you know? Or it could be like just the most painful thing I've ever seen in my life. Just absolute irredeemable garbage. Bottom of the barrel, not even bottom of the barrel, below the barrel cinema. But there's a good chance it'll just be a really generic movie. Absolutely mediocre, nothing special about it. And I don't want to waste time with that. So, you know, I still feel skeptical. Because, like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And, you know, it makes me think a lot more about, like, looking at, like, other live-action movies based on cartoons. You know, it makes me think that, you know, most of them are actually just really generic. And nothing, like, I think the only one that's like really awful, the only one that's really awful is The Last Airbender, and that's it. That's the only like hugely awful one. A majority of them are just really generic. Like, they're not good movies, but like, you know, do you really want to waste your time hating on the live action Smurfs movie? Like, come on, bro. Is that what you want to do with your life? Like, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. I mean, when it comes to these live-action movies based on cartoons, sometimes you get unironic masterpieces, sometimes you get guilty pleasure movies, but for the most part, you just get really generic movies that they have nothing notable about them. They're just generic kids movies. Actually, hold on. You know how I said The Last Airbender was the only one that was really awful? I retract that statement. I just remembered the Fairly Odd Parents trilogy. That one's atrocious as well. Nickelodeon has a really bad track record when it comes to making live-action versions of their Nicktoons. The only movie that, like, it's not bad, the only one that's, like, kind of good is the live-action Dora movie. The only live-action Nickelodeon movie that's based on a cartoon that's not, like, awful is the Dora movie. We live in a world where they put more care into the Dora movie compared to the Avatar Last Airbender movie, and I'm kind of glad we live in that world, because that's just the funniest thing ever, man. You know, I don't know, man. I just have that slight gut feeling that this movie, there's nothing notable about it. It's just gonna be really generic, and like nothing notable about it, you know. And I don't want to risk watching it just for that. Like, come on, it's not worth it. Yeah, A Loud House Christmas. I'm not reviewing it. I'm not talking about it. You want to watch someone review it, just watch someone else. I don't care. Just watch this video. I don't care. I'm probably going to watch this video. You know, I don't care. Just watch this video. Alright, I'm not making it. I'm not making this video. I'm not making a video on A Loud House Christmas. I'm sorry. That's not happening. So, yeah, without further ado, let's talk about the next subject. Yeah. Okay, so this somehow flew under my radar, But apparently back in March of this year, it was announced that the Loud House would be getting a live action spin-off series. And then very recently, this month in September, they released the first trailer for it, giving it the creative name The Really Loud House, and announcing that it will be aired sometime in November. Well, it would be aired on both Nickelodeon, and it would be available to stream on Paramount Plus. And when will they learn, you know? When are they gonna learn? I'm sick of Nickelodeon, honestly. I'm genuinely sick of them. I remember a long time ago I once said that 2018 was Nickelodeon's worst year, and I brought up, stuff like, Steven Hillenburg's death and Butch Hartman's true colors being exposed. And, I brought that up as why 2018 was Nickelodeon's worst year, but now I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure every single year since 2018 has been Nickelodeon's worst year. And for all I know, Nickelodeon probably never had a good year before in their life, Why does this exist? Why is there a live-action Loud House series coming? Like, genuinely, who asked for this? I don't even think fans of the original cartoon asked for this at all. Nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted this. And yet, it exists. It's getting made. Gotta milk it somehow. Gotta keep that, gotta keep milking that cash cow. And it's gonna be extra pointless because from what I've seen, it's gonna be the same thing. I've read the synopsis of it. It's gonna be the same thing as the cartoon, so there's no reason for it to exist. Like, say what you want about that live-action Fairly OddParents show, at least that tries to do something different. That doesn't mean it's good, but at least it does something different. Whereas with this, it's literally just gonna be the original cartoon, but it's gonna be live-action instead of animated. There is no reason for this to exist. No reason at all. I don't know anyone that was asking for this to be made. And, considering the fact that, live-action Nickelodeon shows have a bad reputation nowadays, and I just don't feel comfortable with any more live-action Nickelodeon stuff for obvious reasons. I mean, yeah, I know that this doesn't have you-know-who involved, but still, I don't care. And then especially when you realize as well that, like, we all know how Loud House fans can be, alright? Loud House fans can be, very weird, to put it bluntly. So, like, having this new live-action show that uses real children in it, it's just a recipe for disaster, and we already know how Nickelodeon is with, you-know-who when it came to the live-action shows. It's just, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of Nickelodeon. I'm genuinely tired of Nickelodeon. I can't wait until Nickelodeon shuts down. I can't wait until that happens. The day that happens will be the best day of my entire life. Insert obvious yet inappropriate SpongeBob joke here. Literally nothing bad could come out of Nickelodeon just ceasing to exist. Nothing bad could come out of Nickelodeon just disappearing from the world. The world would be a slightly better place without Nickelodeon at this point. Just sell SpongeBob to some other company and then go away. Go bankrupt or whatever. Because I'm genuinely pissed off at Nickelodeon nowadays. It's incredible looking at, like, the big three of cartoons and just looking at how far they've fallen from grace compared to, in their glory days. Nickelodeon just does nothing new. All they do is just SpongeBob and Loud House, SpongeBob and Loud House. Constantly shows left and right getting ignored. And at this point, like, who even cares anymore that these shows are getting ignored? Like, oh no, Harvey Beaks got neglected. Like, who cares anymore at this point? Genuinely. Just move on and accept it, I've seen people trying to say, like, oh, please bring back Rise of the TMNT. That ain't happening. Because live-action Loud House is more interesting than this. That's not happening. I'm sorry, but it's not. I'll be amazed if it happens. The first Nickelodeon W in God knows how long. And, like, most important thing as well is that, like, every single person that has ever worked at Nickelodeon is a awful person, and the only one that wasn't an awful person passed away in 2018 because life is cruel like that, You know, it's the most amazing thing in the world when a TV show that you hold near and dear to your heart, and it helped shape your childhood. It plays an essential part of your childhood, and it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, when I have kids, I gotta show this to them, you know, pass it down to a new generation, and it just gets ruined for you because of certain people that are in it, and so you can't watch it anymore. Whatever childhood memories you have, gone forever. They're soiled. You can't enjoy it anymore. Alright, this is the one instance where that separate the art from the artist nonsense can't be applied here. It cannot be applied. It just can't. Bye bye childhood memories, go all the classic episodes. This has been pissing me off for almost a year now. All the classic episodes just ruined for me. The episode, you know, the treehouse episode, the episode where they get stuck on a helicopter, the episode where they try and get on like a roller coaster, but like they keep getting sent back to the beginning of the line, you know, or the end of it, I don't know. You know, they keep getting, you get what I'm saying. You know, like all the classic episodes just ruined. I can't show my kids the Drake and Josh, I can't do it. And then you just read like all the stuff going on, like what happened with like Jeanette McCurdy, just the general awful stuff, and it makes you realize that like this stuff could potentially happen to those working on Really Loud House. And you know, I can't wait until Nickelodeon shuts down. The day that Nickelodeon shuts down will be a great day. Nothing of value would be lost. Just sell SpongeBob to a different company or whatever, and then just go bankrupt and stop existing, and then the world would be a better place. Slightly better place. It's not even just Nickelodeon, just looking at like the big three of cartoons, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney. It's just amazing seeing how far they've fallen from grace. Just seeing how far they've fallen. Cartoon Network, okay, Cartoon Network is a bit different. What makes Cartoon Network different is that they are not the bad guys themselves, like with Nickelodeon and Disney. It's more the parent company that owns them. I'm sure most of you know about the recent stuff with, you know, Warner Bros. Discovery, just straight up removing shows off of HBO Max, you know, Infinity Train and Close Enough and stuff like that. You know, I don't know if this, I'm sure it's related, you know, the cancellation of Batgirl and whatever, you know. So yeah, Cartoon Network is screwed. I wouldn't even be surprised if Cartoon Network gets shut down because of how they're just treating it now. Disney, Disney. Disney cannot be stopped. It doesn't matter how many things Disney does, they can't be stopped. There's so many awful things Disney has done. I don't know why I'm bringing them up here. I'm talking about glory days of Disney. What glory days did Disney have? Once a company, always a company, you know? I'm tired of everything, man. I'm tired. I just mainly want to talk about Nickelodeon, but like it's not even just that as well. It's like Disney and Cartoon Network, and they're just all garbage now. They're nowhere near as good as they used to be. You know, I realize now that Nickelodeon and Disney actually have a lot of things in common. Aside from the obvious fact that they're both awful companies, there's also the fact as well that they're just so devoid of creativity. They're so creatively bankrupt that they just regurgitate all of the old stuff they made when they were good, because they just have no new ideas anymore. They just have nothing new to add to the table. You know, Disney's just over here like, oh hey, remember Beauty and the Beast? Yeah bro, here's a live action remake of that. Remember Aladdin? Yeah, here's a live action remake of that. Remember The Lion King? Here's a live action remake of that. Nickelodeon, the same exact thing. Hey, remember iCarly? Yeah, bro, here's a live action, oh yes, live action iCarly, because iCarly started as an animated show. Hey bro, remember iCarly? Yeah, here's a revival of that. Remember Rugrats? Here's a revival of that. Remember The Fairly OddParents? Here's a live action version of that. And in the meantime, have a million SpongeBob and Loud House spin-offs that nobody watches, nobody cares about, and nobody asked for. Genuinely. What happened to Nickelodeon? You know, Nickelodeon was never good. I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of them. I just want them to just go. Like, honestly, who cares? Who still cares about Nickelodeon in this day and age? Just go already, man. Just go bankrupt or whatever. I'm just sick of it. You know, I feel like it says a lot about how Nickelodeon is nowadays when the best thing that they have given us in a very, 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 very long time is a decent at best Smash Bros. Clone. Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl is not an amazing game. It's decent for what it is, but it is very lackluster in content, and it doesn't really have a lot of replay value. And it honestly would have been way cooler if it was like if it came out in like the late 2000s or early 2010s, like during the Wii, Xbox 360, PS3 era. You know, it would be way better then. I feel like in 2021 there was really no point in doing it, but it is without a doubt the best thing that Nickelodeon has given us in God knows how long. This decent at best Smash Bros. Clone, the best thing they've given us in forever. I'm aware that most of this segment is just me ranting on Nickelodeon and other stuff, and it's nothing to do with the actual really loud house, but there's nothing to say about it because I'm tired of it, okay? I'm tired of Loud House. I'm tired of making Loud House videos. This is the main thing I want to say. I'm sick of making Loud House videos, and you know, sometimes I regret making the Loud House videos. I regret making all those Loud House videos years ago. I regret them. I'm not proud of them anymore. Hating Loud House is no longer an unpopular thing because I've seen more people on the internet, you know, hate Loud House. It's become like a more popular opinion. I don't want to be egotistical and say like, you know, take all the credit, but I do genuinely feel like I might have contributed to this. And you know, I'm just sick of it. When the Really Loud House comes out, I'm not watching it. I'm not making a video on it. Do not ask me about it because I'm not going to do it because I want to just move on already because I'm bored of making Loud House stuff and I don't have that passion anymore, especially since it's not a controversial thing anymore to hate the Loud House. I'm never watching a Loud House Christmas, and I'm not watching the Really Loud House either. I'm tired. Nickelodeon is dead. Nickelodeon was never alive to begin with. They're dead. They were never alive to begin with, but now like we can truly 100% say Nickelodeon is dead, and I don't miss them. I know this is a long video, but I just wanted to get this out of the way. This was way longer than I wanted it to be. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out some of my other videos, and if you like my other videos, then maybe consider subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. I do have other videos planned. Hopefully they won't be as long as this one. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video, and see you next time. Goodbye.